Hi and welcome to another episode of Delaware County Political News, Meet the Candidate. We are here today with Matt Garson, candidate for Nether Providence Ward 2 Commissioner. Matt Garson resides in Nether Providence, 2nd Ward. He is married and a father of 2 energetic young daughters who attend Wallingford Elementary School. Matt has a background in both business and the law. Matt graduated from Rutgers University School of Business and worked in accounting for Bloomberg LP in New York before going to Villanova Law School. He is a shareholder with Lavin, Cedrone DiSipio and maintains his practice in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Matt is a first-time candidate, but he is no stranger to local politics, which he has been involved since moving to Nether Providence. Most recently, Matt is coming off a successful season coaching his daughter's basketball team in the Nether-Swarthmore League. You can find him canvassing across the 2nd Ward in Nether Providence, meeting with residents and discussing issues of concern. Matt, thank you for joining us here today on Delaware County Political News.
Thanks, Larry, for having me.
Matt, what is your opinion about Nether Providence, your and my home township?
Well, Larry, the township slogan is a beautiful place to call home, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. Nether Providence is a real tight-knit community. We have proximity to Center City, Philadelphia with the Blue Route. We have great access with the 2 train stations. It's a community that values education. Education's really at the top priority for our residents. But we also have a unique challenge in that over 90+% of our properties are residential, which means that a big burden of the tax burden falls on our residents.
For the local Nether viewers who are watching, where are you? Where is the 2nd Ward, Matt?
The 2nd Ward is really what I like to refer to as the heart of Nether Providence. The Township Administration Building and the Police Department, Wallingford Elementary School, and our middle school and high school are all in the 2nd Ward. And it actually, geographically, it's one of the larger areas of the township. It extends all the way down to the Wallingford Swim Club, and the border is right around St. John's.
You're familiar with the Newsweek article in 2007, Nether Providence is the 9th best place in the country to live?
I am, Larry, and we got to get that up to number 1, and that's my plan.
I would appreciate that. Why do you want to run for office?
Well, Larry, politics is really in my blood. When I was a little kid, 4 or 5 years old, I would chase my old man around when he was campaigning for office, knocking on doors, meeting with the public, and watching him go through that process and ultimately become a councilman. It really instilled a sense of community service, giving back to the community, public service. So that's what I want to do here. I want to give back to the community where I've chosen to raise my family.
Tell us about your family.
Well, I'm married. I have a wife, Kelly, 2 daughters, Madeline and Charlotte. Madeline's going into 3rd grade at Wallingford Elementary. Charlotte's entering 1st grade. My wife's a commercial litigator in Philadelphia, so we have a lot of interesting discussions in our family with 2 litigators and 2 very energetic little girls who have a lot to say.
Matt, what issues are involved in this 2017 local race in Nether Providence?
Well, Larry, we have a number of issues facing the township, and I want to start off by saying Nether Providence is a great place. But like every community, we have issues facing us. First and foremost, the township bought the former Summit School property from the Wallingford-Swarthmore School District. It encompasses open space, soccer fields, and an old school building that's used for community events.
Where is that? Where is that building?
That's on Plush Mill Road, almost at the intersection with Providence Road. The issue is there's really no plan for the use of the building going forward. The building's dilapidated. At a minimum, the building needs to be cleaned up, and some options need to be presented to the community for either renovating the building or building anew. But right now, there really doesn't seem to be a plan, and there are going to be costs involved, and we need community input.
What is being considered right now? What are the options?
Well, right now, there really doesn't seem to be a plan. The options would be kind of keeping things the way they've been going with the building in a deteriorated condition, or possibly renovating the building, or even building anew down the road.
Is there an issue involving the sober living homes in Nether?
There is, Larry. Like a lot of communities across the Commonwealth and across the country, there's an issue of folks looking to open up sober living homes, and this is for recovering drug and alcohol addicts. And we are all sensitive to folks in the community that have substance abuse problems. However, there really isn't a process within the township for a reasonable accommodation. So this sober living home in Nether Providence, it really opened up under the radar, and it's gone through zoning hearings in Nether Providence, and now the issue is up in the federal court being decided. So there really needs to be a plan in place. We need to go back in Nether Providence and look at our zoning codes in an effort to maintain the character of the community and have a process for reasonable accommodation so everyone knows where we stand when someone looks to open up a facility like this.
Is there an earned income tax that's being considered right now for Nether Providence?
There is, Larry. I was at the last commissioners meeting back in early July, and the issue of the earned income tax was being discussed by the commissioners. There is a contingent of commissioners up there right now that want to implement an earned income tax in Nether Providence, and the issue there is no one seems to have the data as to who it would affect and how. And that really gets to another issue, which is transparency in government, which is something near and dear to my heart. Right now, we have meetings that are broadcast live to the community, but nothing's recorded. There's no way for our residents to go back and to review a meeting if they can't make it in person. So transparency is another issue too.
You've attended some of the township meetings during your candidacy, I understand.
That's correct.
What impressions did you have from the meetings?
I think that overall the commissioners work pretty well together, but I think that at certain times when residents and constituents have brought matters of concern to the commissioners, there's certain commissioners that are somewhat dismissive. And we need to remember that we're here to serve the residents, and they're up there to serve the community. And if there's an issue of concern to a resident, people need to be listened to, and people just want to be heard, especially in this day and age of so much political rhetoric.
Are you and your running mates on a ticket together?
Well, we are, and we are on a ticket together in the sense that the issues that I just discussed of importance to the community are issues that we both share. However, we do run independently within our own ward because it's a ward system in Nether Providence.
Matt, why should the voters vote for you?
Well, Nether Providence is where I've chosen to raise my family. My kids are young. I have a young family. I'm committed to Nether Providence. I'm going to raise my family here. I want to see the community continue to prosper. It's already a beautiful place to call home, but I think that we can do better. I think that there are some issues that are of concern to the community that I've outlined already. I'm reasonable. I'm approachable. I'm open-minded. I'm not going to be beholden to anyone if I'm sitting up there as a commissioner. I'm going to vote with an open mind and an open heart. I'm committed to being communicative to the public. I want to make sure that we have a transparent government. I want to make sure that our residents know what's going on and that they're informed, and that when they have concerns, I want to be a mouthpiece and a spokesperson for the community.
Matt, what is your campaign message? 30 seconds or less.
Larry, I'm reasonable, I'm open-minded, I'm approachable, I'm energetic, I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and do the job for the community. I will work tirelessly and always keep our residents' best interests in mind.
Matt, what is your biggest strength?
Larry, I think my biggest strength is that I am communicative. I can reach out to the residents in a number of different ways. If elected, I'll maintain a commissioner Facebook page where people can connect with me. I'll have a newsletter that will go out to our second ward residents at a regular basis, perhaps once a quarter. And another idea that I've had is holding office hours, so to speak, maybe at a place like the Helen Kate Furness Library, where once a month people can drop in within a certain period of time and we can discuss issues of concern. So I think communication, being communicative, that's a strength of mine.
Well, Matt, that's all we have time for here today. But again, I want to thank you for joining us here on my show.
Thanks, Larry. Glad to be a part of it.
I am your host, Larry DeMarco, and we have been here with Matt Garson, candidate for 2nd Ward Commissioner of Nether Providence. Tune in next time for Delaware County Political News. Bye for now.